I can feel it coming. It's that time again. It's those old goofy goblins. Welcome to Goofs and Goblins, the tabletop role-playing anthology. I'm Hammer Gibbons, your host, and your Goof Master for this arc, Campfire Tales. I don't really have any housekeeping to do right now, but I thought I'd record an intro, and now I have, and now it's finished, and so the episode will begin presently. Previously on Campfire Tales, there was a peaceful town of Bake Hill, where there was also a casino. I'm famished. I think I'll steal some eggs.
I'm looking for my son. He is vaquero.
Hey, mister, don't steal those eggs.
Boy, time for some casino.
Sheriff, he stole them Eggos.
I won't tolerate it. Let's go get him.
I'll help you, Sheriff.
And hell followed with him.
So you see, Huddle didn't know it yet, but he was in a whole heap of trouble. Annabelle, the doctor, and the sheriff showed up at the Double Dixie to apprehend that fiend. They stepped in, and just as he was stepping out...
Oh, excuse me there, trying to find... Oh, Annabelle, there you are. Listen, I've got a hot tip about that there silver mine.
Mr. St. Patrick, you have not paid your tab.
I did pay my tab. What are you talking about?
No, you paid part of your tab.
Oh, was that woman's payment not enough?
Clearly not. You ordered coffee, one of the most expensive things.
Oh, my mistake, lass. What do I owe you here? And who's this tall, strange-looking, terrifying man with a gun as big as a gun is normally, but it looks slightly off proportion to his large frame?
Huddle St. Patrick, of course, was referring to the sheriff. The 7-foot-tall shit castle that was Sheriff Jebediah Mossman.
Why is he a shit
Whoa,
castle?
now.
Hold on.
Shit castle, wow.
Yep, he was a shit castle, and everybody knew it.
Can you describe to me what a shit castle is?
Yeah, please elucidate us on what exactly you term a shit castle.
Well, listeners, if you're not familiar with what a shit castle is, it's a man stacked as high as a castle of shit.
You can hear the smile in your voice.
I feel like that's not gonna be good material for I don't know if you can get a shit castle that big.
Yep, out here in whatever Nevada territories this is, they stack shit that high.
I do not want to live in Nevada area.
Well, I'm just impressed.
You're impressed. You should see how proud his parents are.
Awesome. So, Huddle reaches in his pocket and pulls out.
Yeah, so he gets his money out?
Yeah, he pays.
Good. I'm glad there won't be any trouble.
No trouble at all, sir. Just a simple misunderstanding.
Don't think that I don't still have my eye on you. Both of them.
Thanks, Sheriff Mossman.
You're very welcome, Annabelle. And you're always welcome in my jail. Not as, a prisoner, but to visit me or anyone who is there. I have to go now. Goodbye.
Oh, I get you.
Hey, wait, Sheriff, what did you need me here for?
Just in case things went south.
Okay.
Did a big shit castle of a man as tall as you not think you could handle one road-weary cowboy?
I just wanted to make sure that the entire cast of characters was all in one place. I abhor splitting the party.
Oh, okay, well, yeah, that's fair enough. So, is this a good place to talk, or should we go somewhere else?
Is standing in front of the Dixie out in the open a good place to talk?
Well, I don't know, it's your town.
We could always go back to my office.
Yeah, that's a scene we haven't been to yet. Let's do that.
And so the three of them scooted over to the good doctor's clinic.
So exactly how many morbid curiosities do you have in formaldehyde jars? I need to know for my mindscape.
Yeah, Tran, why don't you paint us a word picture of your clinic, and I'm going to keep eating.
Oh, what?
mute-
I wasn't
and
prepared
mute-
for this.
And mute my microphone.
You're the worst.
No, Tran, this is great. This is free reign.
It's a 2-story building that has his house on the top floor, and Sam Goodwin's office was located on the first floor of his house. It looked like any other building other than outside showed a sign for Sawbones. And when they entered, there was a little reception desk to the right, and then kind of in a foyer area. And
Even foyer.
is that what? No, foyer is a small hallway, right?
Is there a lady or man as a receptionist?
Sam had a receptionist, but when the mine closed down, there was a lot less people needing the services of the good doctor, so he had to let her go, and now he kind of just has a invoice mailbox thing, so people could come in and stop by, and if he's not there, they could just write him a note, and he could stop by when he's available.
I am bleeding.
Like a suggestion.
My
box.
arm is gone. Please come here now.
Hey, I mean, as an addict of ether, the doctor's not always available to come see people.
Well, that is a great comfort to hear.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's the only doctor around. What are you gonna do? And then there's so in there's 2 doors. One looks like one's open and it leads to where there's a table, as you would see in a normal doctor's office, and has some instruments laying around on the counters and other tools that a doctor would use.
What kind of magazines do you have in the waiting room?
And
There's
please give the titles of these magazines.
He has Cowboys Life.
It's just life. You gotta have just life.
Rancheros Weekly.
There's New Guns Weekly. No, wait, monthly, because it wouldn't be a weekly thing. Oh,
And then there's like Guns.
there's National Geographic. And it's just one picture.
I love it. Perfect.
What's the picture of?
It's of a old barn that's being torn down.
And it says like the end of farming on the underneath it.
Damn the fires of industry.
The gotcha article is Gold Rush destroys agriculture.
Pack up your hose, boys. It's the 18 something or others, and we don't farm anymore.
1870.
So that's all you see when you walk in. Just the receptionist desk to the right, and the door, and there's the little lounge area.
There's also there was an alien fetus in a jar and a shrunken head in a jar.
There's a door that's marked "Do Not Enter," and there's a second door that says restroom.
Really, don't enter.
It says restroom, and then there's a door that's just like there. You don't know what it's for.
Does it make sense with the architecture, or does it just lead to nowhere?
It makes sense. It goes to because when you come in, it's in the middle, and there's the 2 doors on each side, and then one has the doors next to each other. So it looks like half of the wall is dedicated to one room, and the other half of the door is dedicated to the other room.
Cool. So Huddle hops up onto the examination table, and he looks excitedly at Annabelle and the good doctor, and he says, "So, I've got some new info on where our missing Mexican might have gone."
Sam's kind of looking off, kind of looking towards Patrick, and says out loud says under his breath, "Did I sterilize this table since the last person came in here?"
So here's the thing. He, if he was a minor, he might very well have been around just when the mine was closed by the owner of that there Dixie. And
Minor. I think she said he was an adult.
Huddle shakes his fist to the air, and he's like, "You quiet down, voice of God. You'll have your turn to make snide comments."
Oh, and then we know the real conflict of the story. It's man versus God.
There it is. There it is, boys. We done it. So apparently there's a decent chance that mine is relatively untouched behind. What's that guy's name again?
Walter Helmut.
Helmet?
Helmet.
Okay. There's a halfway decent chance that mine and all the silver still contained therein is just prime for the picking behind Helmet's mansion up on the hill.
Silver? Well, we could pay off Papa's debts with that.
I really have no need for any silver, but I mean,
You'll most certainly come along, Sam.
But I mean, yeah, for Annabelle, I'll do whatever. Did we lose Matt again?
Yeah.
Damn it, Matt.
Sorry about that, I dropped out.
I thought you were about to graduate.
That's enough.
Okay.
These are so bad, but
I'm on tonight.
Cool. So, right, I'm glad to have you aboard. There's a bit of a problem, though, in that I imagine Mr. Helmet wouldn't want us poking around his private property, so we'll need to either sneak up the mountain and past his house, or we'll need a legitimate reason to explore the mine. Do you have any ideas?
Having lived in this town, what does Annabelle know about Helmet?
Annabelle knew Helmut didn't let anybody back there behind his manor, his mansion. She knew that getting back there was a fool's errand. Once he done shut up that mine, nobody's been back there since. She heard tell that there might be tunnels through the hill that led back to the mine, but all that was just hearsay.
It's all hearsay. What was your question?
Well, so
Matt.
So the ways I see it, we could attempt to win passage. Does Helmet come down to his casino very often?
What does Annabelle know about Helmet?
Annabelle thought hard about it. Yeah, about once a month he was down in the Double Dixie. He liked to come on nights of the full moon. No one was sure why exactly, but
He's like a reverse werewolf.
he's like a reverse werewolf. He'd spend his night in the Double Dixie on nights when the moon was full and bright.
Okay, what did Sam know about the guy, Helmet?
Sam thought long and hard.
And he drew a blank because all of the ether.
The ether cloud settled in over his head, and nothing came to him.
Well, he comes down about once a month, but I don't think he's gonna be the type to let us through.
I'm not half bad at a game of poker. Perhaps if we caught him interested in playing, and a trip up to the mine might be a wager he'd be willing to make, and we could, perhaps if we worked together, ensure that we won the pot, if you will.
I see. I'll distract him, you play him, and Sam will drug him.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea at all.
Yeah, I got plenty of drugs.
What does Annabelle know about the moon cycles?
Just say, and as it happens, the full moon's tomorrow.
Yes, and I'll try it.
And it just so happens that the full moon is tomorrow.
Well, that's perfect then. If we can get a plan together, maybe get Rosie on board, we could get ourselves legal and free way up to the mine to see what we can find.
Why bringing Rosie in on it? She is his employee.
Well, the fewer people who would cause a stink if we were noticed cheating, the better. If we can convince her that it'd be in her best interest to let us pull one over on her boss, then we don't have to worry about her calling us out, as it were.
Wait, we're cheating during this?
Well, we just...
Distracting ain't cheating.
Well, I think I'm pretty sure between distracting, drugging, and perhaps playing the game of poker outside the realms of
Just
normal
play it.
legalities, we will have crossed over into cheating territory.
I'm okay with drugging the casino owner, but I don't know how I feel about you cheating your card game.
That seems like a
man here.
That seems like a very wobbly line for you to walk, morally speaking.
I don't know anything about morals, but I know that I'm an honest man and I don't like people cheating around me.
Just drugging them's fine though. Well, alright, if you don't like the cheating idea, I did have another. I noticed a general goods store on the way in. We could see if they had any climbing gear or the like, and we could scale the hill ourselves to try to come in behind the mansion and circumvent Mr. Element entirely.
I think I prefer the poker game, but we don't have to cheat about it. Just drug them and distract them.
Alright then. That gives me, I suppose, the least legally dubious role in this job, so sure, let's do that. I'll just play a regular game of poker against a distracted, drugged up man, and we won't call that cheating.
Sam walks over to a cabinet that's in the patient room, and he opens it up, and it's just jars and jars of ether and other types of drugs, bottles of laudanum.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Just insane amount of morphine and opium.
Are you sure you're a doctor? It looks to me like you might just be a bit of a... Well, drug addict is a mean term, but where's some non-drug related doctoring equipment in here? Can I just see any of that?
Oh, Sam's always had his quirks.
Just look at the table over there, and it's just a table of scalpels and like those reflex hammers and stethoscopes. One of those little mirror things that go on your head, which I guess doesn't really fit the setting because those are for dentists. But yeah, I have one of those.
The head mirror things. Cool. Alright. Well, I'm convinced.
And just a little bit of Doctor's Dynamite.
just a wee bit of Dr. Shotgun.
Pray tell, what does Doctor's Dynamite do?
It explodes, of course.
What are you exploding?
Whatever needs exploding.
Someone has a toothache, and the dentist isn't on hand to remove the tooth. You use some Doctor's Dynamite.
Sam pointed at a degree on the wall, and it's clearly like printed out. It has typos on it.
And it's on a plain sheet of white paper and clearly done in Microsoft Word.
And it's not like watermarks or anything. It's just a sticker on there that looks like a watermark.
Awesome. Great. Well, it looks like we have everything we need. Do we want to just like star swipe to that evening, or is there anything? I suppose it might be nice to have a nap. I rode through the night to get here.
There's also more characters to meet if you're interested.
What do you guys think?
Why don't we go gear up at the Wong's General Store?
Yeah, do you have a lantern or climbing equipment? How about a pickaxe?
I'm not sure we'll need it if we're getting... If we're going to try to, like, win, the deed to the mine, or...
Oh, you're trying to win the deed to the mine?
Well, I don't know. It'll depend on how well I roll, I guess. I figure if we start with a trip to the mine and then work our way up, then...
So what do you have to offer that you're going to bet against the deed to this mine?
That is a good point. I forgot that there's a second half to poker.
Yeah,
You, it's you betting.
the whole
Yeah, you gotta-
owning things to bet.
You gotta have things. How well populated is the Dixie on nights? Maybe I could win enough money by playing other people before I join Helmet's stable.
There's lots of tough folks in the Dixie on a typical night.
Tough folks with money?
Yeah.
All right, so
Money and arrest warrants.
cool. So yeah, so we could practice our non-cheating cheating on the the small fish, and then get enough capital to buy a seat at Helmet's table, and then we can play him after unless there's like a get enough money fast scheme that either of you know about in this town that we could do today.
Wait, is this in character or out of character? Is this Matt talking to me, or is this Patrick or Huddle?
Yeah, there wasn't. You didn't have your accent.
I guess it's Matt thinking about it. Huddle's probably thinking about it too, but sure, yeah. Well, I suppose we will need money if we're going to play at the big man's table. Do either of you have enough scratch to put down?
I could.
What does Annabelle know about having enough to put down?
Just say you have like $1 million, and
wow,
and then if
1870
if
$1 million.
If that's too much, then the GM can pull us back, scale us down to no. You have no money.
Annabelle thought briefly about putting up her Papa's restaurant.
Ooh, shit, that'd be cool. Could we steal?
Oh yeah, it's not mine to put up though.
Yeah, but do you know where your dad keeps the deed to his restaurant? Because if we steal the deed from your dad, then we go in and we say we'll match your deed for deed.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've suddenly decided to climb the mountain instead.
I have some money to get you started, but I mean, if you're as good as you say, you could easily win enough money to get a seat at this table from all the ruffians that go to the Dixie.
Yeah, you'll have to double up at least 5 times with your current money.
Yeah. Well, where do all these ne'er-do-wells with outstanding arrest warrants hang out when they're not at the Dixie? Could we catch them with their pants down, so to speak, now and turn them in for bounties or something?
Well, since it's a crossroads, most of them are just stopping over for the night.
Is there like a marshal's office in this town?
I don't know what that is.
Just the sheriff's office?
Yeah, there's the sheriff. There's a mayor.
Is there a bounty board?
I don't think, because don't bounties just go through marshals? And I think marshals were around during this time.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So,
and that's a federal
most bounties go to marshals
thing, right?
Yeah.
So maybe at the mayor's.
If we were to turn people in, it would have to go to a marshal.
Or maybe there's not a marshal in this town. That's what makes it such a good crossroads.
No. You can get money from a sheriff. They do that in Django Unchained, don't they? Where the first town they go into, and they're in the bar, and he's like, "Go get the sheriff because I have these, I've got these warrants for their arrest and whatnot."
No, he kills the sheriff and he says, "Go get the marshal." And I'll explain everything.
Oh, you're right. Okay, so yeah, I mean, well, that their sheriff seemed like an up-and-up guy. He might be able to. I mean, most law enforcement have some amount of money lying around for, their vice departments or whatever sting operations they need to put together. Maybe if we help him with some of these ne'er-do-wells, he'll give us the capital we need to play high-stakes poker.
I don't think Sheriff Mossman can pull off a sting, looking at how he is.
Well, exactly. So we'll do the stinging for him.
And they went to the sheriff's office.
Yeah, let's go. We like that sheriff voice so good. We want to hear it some more.
All right. So, having cooked up a hot-headed scheme, the three of them headed over to Sheriff Mossman's domain. back to the jail. The way things are going for them, they'd probably be spending a lot of time here.
By bringing in all those sick bounties, you mean? We're never gonna be caught.
The three of them stepped in. Dr. Annabelle, Mr. Patty, good to see you.
How's it going, Sheriff?
Well, ignoring that then, is there like a bounty board in here or anything?
Yeah, there is a bounty board. Wanted, dead or alive, the Baby King.
Fucking no, I'm out. Patrick just leaves. He's not dealing with the Baby
For
King.
the heinous crimes of cattle stampeding.
Oh, man. Was he a baby farmer?
The Baby King?
Yeah.
No, it's an infant with, like, facial hair.
And a crown on his head?
Yeah, and, well, he's got a cowboy hat on. No, it's just a baby vaquero with a cowboy hat on. He's super adorable. It's like a modeling shot of him, so he's, like, sitting there in his diaper, and he's got two little guns. Yeah. And, wanted for stampeding cattle to the Vatican.
Vatican? Oh, man, this guy's wanted across the world.
Right, so, Mr. Sheriff, I've heard tell that there's a handful of ne'er-do-wells that you'd like seen behind bars or underground.
I just as soon see them not in my town.
Well, I'm not too shabby with the 6-shooters. What say I help you out, and in return, we get some of the bounty money, or all the bounty money, since we'll be doing the bounty hunting.
You're a bounty hunter. Not a lot of bounty hunters come through Baker's Hill. The Dixie's usually too rough and tumble, even for their type.
Well, if things would go my way, we'd be encountering them before they even got into the Dixie.
Catch them with their pants down. Not a bad idea. Yes, I'll make good on any bounties that you bring in.
Well, that's excellent. Do you happen to know where this Baby King spends his days?
The Baby King is a joke bounty that the guys put up for me. If you're thinking that an actual infant is one of our bounties, maybe this line of work isn't for you.
Well, I'm not one to judge. I've got several young siblings who they can be quite a right handful.
Look at
what
him,
about?
Though. It's clearly a comedic poster. How did you, even for a minute, think there was really a Baby King?
I saw a baby on the wall. I just figured I'd ask. Let's look
Do you
at
go
the next.
into people's houses and see pictures of their family and think, oh, there's one, I'll take that one down? He must have stolen this house and put up pictures of himself.
Well, first I'd like to know where the bounty wall is in anyone's given house, and then I assume that every picture upon that wall is representing a bounty. I feel like I'm not off base here.
Very well. The bounty board, there is one in the town, right next to the general store.
Oh, so wait. So you have a joke bounty just put up on the wall for no reason.
Yes, well, I don't ask you how you decorate your home.
But the bounty
place of
board
business.
is at the general store.
Fair enough, Mr. Sheriff. We'll be going to that real, actual bounty board then.
And if there's any babies on that one, it's not real either, okay? There's no baby criminals in Baker's Hill.
You know, you say that now, but there will come a time when a baby performs some nefarious deed in this town, and on that day you will rue it. I know babies, they're not to be trusted.
All right. And so the three of them, their heads full of baby bounties, headed over to the general store. Huddle remembered passing the general store on his way into town.
Yeah, so like, what's this store look like? What's this good in here?
So they went down the dusty streets of Baker's Hill and made it to the general store. A wooden building, much like the other wooden buildings in this town, purportedly run by the Wong family, a kind and gentle couple that had had come to this country to work on the railroad many years ago and had given up that life.
Well, good on them. That's some shit work. What bounties have we got here, Annabelle? What do you see?
I see Otis, Friendly Face, Holloway.
Otis Friendly Face Holloway?
Yep.
All right. And there was a picture of a man with such a jovial smile. It was difficult to believe that he could be a criminal. His high cheekbones were a rosy color, even on a black and white photo, and his bushy mustache just said, friendly.
Like it literally was shaved to spell out the word friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
There's Michael Bootlicker Holt.
Michael Bootlicker Holt had a jagged scar running down his right eye. Wanted for the crimes of murder, and I'm not doing it. Wanted for the crimes of murder and grand theft cattle. What is
Larceny.
larceny?
Yeah.
Grand larceny.
I like Grand Theft Cattle.
Grand Theft Cattle. Yeah, perfect. Doc, are there any other ones up here that caught your eye?
I think I treated this guy recently for a gunshot wound. My eyes are kind of hazy. It looks like
Someone else read it to me.
That says
Looks like
Willie
Weston.
No Teeth Bailey.
And true as she said it, there was Willie No Teeth Bailey. You couldn't tell because he wasn't grinning, but you got the impression that maybe under all them lips was all them gums. Wanted for the crime of running out on his meals.
No, not that one. I think it's this one. Wild Weston. Yeah, it looks like Wild Weston Williams here.
And there he was, just a baby-faced young man, no facial hair whatsoever. He clearly one of them young types who's trying to make a name for himself. Wanted for knocking over 2 banks and for killing a bank teller. Considered armed and very dangerous.
So much actual, very serious crime on this board. I feel like any one of them might get us enough money to sit at the big table.
Ed Hopalong Foreman.
Hopalong Foreman. I love it.
Hop along?
Hopalong Foreman. You heard the man.
Hopalong.
Hop along Foreman.
Ed Hopalong Foreman.
It says his full name though. Edward Hopalong Foreman.
He's just a horse thief.
It's just Ed.
Just a no
He's
good,
the-
dirty
It's just
horse
Ed.
thief.
He's the famous one-legged horse thief.
Creating
No,
too much
it's just-
Russell out of Hootenanny.
It's just a picture of a horse.
With an eye patch. Smoking a cigarette
He's got a mean looking face.
and giving
I
the
think
middle
this-
hoof.
From what I could tell, this one looks like the most real bounty up here.
Well, at least there are no babies. So we just gotta track any number of these bad mother hubbers down, and we'll be able to make our nut, so to speak.
Huddle St. Patrick reached out and pulled off Otis Friendly Face Holloway's bounty, and behind it revealed the Slick Baby, the one bounty they hadn't seen. Slick Baby was wanted for cradle robbing, for rattle shaking,
Rattlesnaking?
rattle shaking.
Rattle shaking. Okay.
Rattle shaking.
Money making.
Pacifier sucking.
Yep.
Diaper pooping.
We'll just leave this one for later then. Sweet. So, could I roll like maybe outlaw?
Roll. We don't do that in this podcast.
Well, I mean,
No,
I
I'm just
figure
kidding, yeah.
we're like, 10, 15 minutes in, we might as well do some kind of roll. Could I roll outlaw to like maybe know somewhere they might be, if I've heard like where any of these guys might have been last, or what they're...
Sure, you've been traveling the trails. It's possible that you've heard of them.
Oh, I've been traveling the trails. Does that sound like a boost die?
That sounds like a boost die.
Yeah.
But since it's obscure information, it's also going to come with a setback.
Oh.
Can I help with my knowledge of the local area?
I'll let you remove one setback with that.
Yeah. Sweet. So, how hard is it to know where ne'er-do-wells...
I'm thinking 5.
What?
Yeah, that's pretty specific information.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know any of these people or what their habits are, so I don't think you would just off the top of your head know.
Well,
where
like, not know where they are exactly, but just know, like, you know, like if I've heard tell that, oh, there's some outlaws up on Klooch's Bluff or whatever.
So if you want to know less specific, less like these guys less specifically and more about just outlaws in general, is that what you're saying?
I want to know what direction to point my horse in to ride out and hopefully encounter one of these guys.
Okay.
Like, I heard a guy who knew a guy who said, if you go a half day east from Beggar's Hill, you'll run into a bandit camp.
Okay, I gotcha. Okay, I'll just make it, since you're not looking for a specific guy, I'll give you 3 dice.
Alright, that's slightly better odds. Let's do it.
Never tell me the odds.
Ooh, that is a failure with 1 advantage. So I don't know where any bandits might be hanging out at. But I heard...
You want to flip one of your points and I'll let you roll another green die?
No.
You'll have to get 2 successes on it to be successful.
No, I wanna know.
Okay.
I just wanna think what this advantage is.
Okay, so you failed with advantage.
Yeah,
meaning...
so I don't know where any bandit camps are, but I heard that Babyface will definitely be showing up. Like, this is his route, brings him around here this time of the month, and we could maybe ambush him before he gets into
Friendly
town.
face, guys. Friendly face.
That sounds like a success to me.
Well, I don't know where they are now, but I just know that...
But you know that Rosie would know where they are?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Rosie probably heard something. Let's go ask Rosie.
If anybody's in tune with where these bandits are, where they're coming from, it'll be Rosie down at the Double Dixie.
Wait a second, guys. This bounty looks kind of familiar to me too. And Sam points at a picture. It looks just like Huddle.
Huddle St. Patrick.
Looks like Huddle St. Patrick.
But it's got a different name under it. Matthew James Gordon.
Wait, did you just like take a stab in the dark at my middle name?
I think I knew your middle name already.
Did you just say James?
Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't close to right, son.
Oh.
It's Jathaniel, obviously.
Huddle rolls his eyes and says, "Doc, you can't be assuming all us Irish people are the same just because we look slightly similar. It was..."
Wait, what? It looks like you? I didn't even realize.
Of course you didn't, you old coot.
Matthew James Gordon, wanted for stealing whiskey, eggs, and coffee. Wanted for having a racist name.
Matthew Gordon, the racist name.
I will have you guys
Is your middle initial J?
No, not even.
Okay.
It's just
That's why I
so
said not
wrong.
even close.
Matthew Ennis?
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 Enos!
Enos.
Don't you have a weird middle name?
I do not.
So James is the weird middle name for you?
Well, Ennis was. You don't have a weird Matthew.
I told
Ryan.
you what it was. It's Jathaniel.
It's not Jathaniel.
It's not something that you're ever gonna know. So just don't worry about
You've told it to us before. I just can't remember.
What's it start with?
Yeah, and that's the beauty of this, is it's gonna keep you awake at night just trying to remember. Okay, so do you guys wanna stop in and say hi to the Wongs and get a couple more colorful characters in here, or just go right back to Rosie?
I need to get some supplies for Papa anyways.
I forgot I need to drop off this prescription.
And into the general store they went. It was a homey, pleasant little general store. And they were greeted by Mr. Alan Wong.
Who plays Alan?
Alan Wong, it will be played by James Hong.
Okay.
Oh, Alan, I'm here to pick up Papa's supplies he ordered.
Oh, Annabelle, so good to see you. And Dr. Goodwin, hello, how are you?
I'm doing just fine. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well.
Wait, is Alan married?
Alan is married. He has a bride named Sally Wong, who is not here right now.
Hey, Alan, I got this medicine for Sally. These should help her headaches. It's the laudanum that she wanted.
Oh, thank you so much, Doctor. Well, I don't know what we would do without you. Her headaches have been getting worse every day.
Just have her take a couple teaspoons of this, and hopefully it'll help her out.
Will it make her very drowsy?
Yeah, she should be pretty drowsy after taking it.
So she shouldn't operate any heavy machinery.
Do you guys have heavy machinery here in the general store?
Huddle starts looking around for like snow plows or like caterpillars or something.
She has a trebuchet.
Remember Doc Brown's iced tea or ice cube maker in Back to the Future 3 that took up like a whole barn? That's not in here. That's nowhere to be
Make sure
seen.
she doesn't ride her horse around, or the sheriff will write her up a ticket and probably haul her off to jail.
Well, we wouldn't want her to go back to jail.
Go back.
Wait, yeah, wasn't she just there this morning? Did they let her out already?
No, she was there some time ago. You remember the incident with the baby king?
Remember, it's not my strong suit.
I feel like you're hitting this baby king thing real hard, and I know I, as a beloved fan of this podcast, am going to be very disappointed if you don't deliver this baby king.
Shit. All right, you're right. I'm writing myself into a corner with the baby king. You know what, listeners? I got to tell you, I'm yanking your chain. There was no baby king, or was there?
Oh.
Anyway, well, Doctor, thank you very much. Is there anything you need to buy in my general store before you leave?
What kind of... Is this just like Western sundry shit in here?
Yes, I call all of my things Western sundry.
Shit.
I could do with a bag of oats for my horse.
Oats? Okay, we have oats. The Quakers came through here recently, and I bought some oats from them.
You cut this, I quit.
Hey, did you by chance stop by the General Mill to get the cereal I wanted?
And speaking of mills, could you please cut some of those oats with some sawdust? I don't want my horse getting spoiled, so I don't like giving him just straight oats.
Wait,
Gross.
what?
You're gonna feed your horse sawdust?
I'm not a veterinarian or anything.
Not straight sawdust. It's an old cowboy trick to make your rations last longer. You cut the oats with something else that gives them the same amount of eating time, but doesn't cost you as much money, or you let the horse get a big head.
I'm no doctor or anything, but that sounds like a terrible thing to do to your horse.
No, it's empty calories. It's a victimless crime. Listen, here's the thing. Princess is a very particular horse. She has quite the personality, and if I feed her more than 3 apples a day, she expects to get apples morning, noon, and night for months, and I have to wean her back off of it. So if I just give her a bag of undiluted oats, she'll be over the moon, but she'll be intolerable. So I have to cut the oats with something else so she doesn't get too prima donna-ish, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Here, I'll get you your sawdust and oats. Does anyone else need anything?
No, I'm good, doctor.
Did you just call me doctor?
Oh, wait, I'm doctor, huh?
That's how you know he's good. He's high off his gourd with all that ether he has at his office.
Oh, that reminds me. Do you have any rags I could purchase from you? Any cloths?
The frail old man reached behind the counter, pulled up a box of rags. The weight of it was difficult for his frail bones, but he slid it over to the doctor all the same. I got your monthly shipment just like you asked.
Just what from like rags or something? Rags Plus sends him a monthly.
You know, I always run out when you come and buy some, so I've been buying special batch just for you.
Thanks.
It's like before the Columbia Record Company sent out monthly albums, they just sent out monthly boxes of rags.
Will that bottle of laudanum cover the box?
Yes, it sure will, Doctor. Thank you.
Alright, sounds good. Sam picked up the box and started heading towards his office.
You realize you are quite literally a drug dealer now.
Yeah, you have paid for you've bartered your way out of paying for two different things now with drugs.
With literal addictive
things?
Substances.
Yeah,
you didn't pay for breakfast.
the penis pills.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, I guess I did it. That's true, I didn't pay for breakfast.
You helped Ignatius with his impotence.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I left all this bartering shit back away from me in Ireland. What's going on? I thought this was the land of coin and money. Coming out here with your witchcraft voodoo medicine.
There's no witchcraft involved in this. It's delicious, delicious opium. Do you want some?
I don't trust it. No, I don't trust it. Give me whiskey that I know frontwards and backwards, or some nice tequila that I can see came from the agave outside my bedroom door, but I've never seen an opium. I don't know what that is. I don't trust it.
Opium comes from a plant. It might be even more natural than your whiskey.
No plant I've ever seen. What is opium? It sounds like a fake thing.
It's a plant that helps relieve pain. Hey, just try some. Sam pulled out a bottle of laudanum.
I won't be having any of your devil's swill.
This one's cut with whiskey.
Well, if you say that then, and I take a swig of laudanum. Does it taste bad? I don't know what laudanum tastes like. Do you think opium has like an herbal, like a grass taste?
It tastes like poppy seeds from Burger King hamburger buns.
Yeah, so, with some, liquid narcotic courage, Huddle makes his way back to the Dixie for the third time that day.
And so the three of them, in a poorly paced day of adventuring, headed back to the Dixie. And Hell followed with them.
Get out of here, Hell. We don't want you following us around. Go home.
And they sent Hell running. And they told the devil that they were coming for him next.
Oh, not Hell. Hell's my friends.
Hell's the good doctor's horse.
Yeah. That's why it keeps on following me.
Oh.
Named your horse Hell. I love it. Very cool.
All right, so the three of them stepped into the Dixie and headed up to Rosie.
Well, hold on, real quick. Doctor, why don't you hitch up Hell right over there next to Princess? I don't quite think a horse following us into establishments is the best thing for our group image, if you understand my meaning.
Hey, we don't serve their kind here.
You don't say Irishman, that's racist.
What?
Your horses, they'll have to wait outside.
Rosie, what happened to your voice? And also, I was here about 20 minutes ago. And does Hell, like, give some, like, boops and whistles and then goes out?
Oh my. I think it would be best if we were hitched up outside.
Sam took the horse outside and took an apple out of his bag and fed it to the horse.
Oh, and Hell whinnied merrily and said,
Oh, thank you. I do so love apples.
You need to cut back.
Annabelle, maybe you should do the talking here. I have accidentally run out on this woman already once today. You might have a better shot at getting the info we need than me. Also, my presence is shit and I'm pretty sure you're a fair sight better at it.
I do have a little bit extra presence.
So the three of them sidled up to the bar where Rosie had most of a tree branch sticking out of her mouth, masticating the bark as she does.
That's her gum.
Yeah, she heard once that, like, gum from a gumshoe tree was, like, really tasty, but she just heard a gumshoe tree is really tasty, so she just, like, started stripping off branches and chewing them.
I don't think it's a gumshoe tree, though. Isn't gumshoe the detective stuff?
Yeah. Is Rosie married?
Rosie is unmarried, but, you think she might be sweet on your paw.
How old is Rosie?
About the same age as your pa. A little younger.
Okay.
How much do you want a mama to go with your papa?
So in a way, she feels motherly towards Annabelle.
Okay, she feels matronly towards me. I'm not sure that talking to her myself is gonna be that good. To try and find out where criminals
But
are.
like in a cool way. Like, she's a cool mom.
Oh, okay. She's a cool mom. Alright.
She's a cool mom.
Miss Clinton.
Oh, hey there, darling. How you doing today? See, you got your friends with you again.
Yeah, I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, I'm still kicking.
Miss Clinton, we know you're knowledgeable of all of these parts and peoples. I was wondering if you knew where certain unsavory folks were.
Unsavory folks? Usually they're at the end of my boot when I kick them out of here. You know how many rapscallions and ruffians I've done thrown out of this place over the years? Ting! She turned her head, hawked, and spit at a spittoon on the second floor.
Well, Rosie, can you help us?
Yeah, darling, what do you need help with? You're not looking for criminals, is you? Are you okay, honey? Sugar?
Oh, I think she's having a stroke.
It's just for
School project.
purely educational purposes.
Book report. For educational purposes, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You want me to roll a deception or something?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a deception.
Alright.
You're not trying to capture criminals to collect a bounty to bet against my boss, are you?
Cheese it.
Alright, I got a triumph, 2 successes, and an advantage.
Okay, well, as long as you're not looking for criminals, that's fine.
As long as you're not looking for criminals, I'm fine with telling you about where all the criminals are.
Of course not. I'm not. Just education.
Well, I heard, and I don't know if this is true or not, more of that frontier gossip, but I heard that some of them is camping out in the old system of tunnels out by Mr. Helmut's mine. Hetty.
Do you mean the tunnels that we can't get to? Because they're behind the mansion?
So you can't get to the mine entrance itself unless you take one of the tunnels. Baker's Hill's got a series of tunnels running through it, and that's what they was trying to mine. The rumor is that they're camping out and they're trying to maybe find that old silver mine. I don't think they're getting very close, but if they could just get behind Helmut's land, it'd be a lot easier. But either way, here they've set up a little impromptu operation in them hills. Gotta kind of go out of town to get to that entrance, though.
Oh, okay. I'll just take this information for educational purposes, of course, only, and be on my way.
Yeah, out there on the east side of the east face, outside of town.
Oh, that east face?
On Baker's Hill. Yeah, east face. That's the one. You
And
want.
what kind of rock climbing gear would you need to get up there? Purely education.
Well, let me think. They get their horses up there, so I don't think you'd need much at all.
Okay, so Doctor can be on Hale, and he could be on Princess, and I could be on Canyon Arrow.
Yeah, I think all three of them would make it up to them tunnels just fine.
Wait, Canyon Arrow?
Canyon Arrow.
Canyon
Arrow.
Why do you have the coolest sounding horse name? That's the best.
You don't like hell?
Not as much as Canyon Arrow. That's like a superhero.
And give your paw a kiss on the cheek from me, won't you?
I sure will, Rosie.
Tell him whenever he's ready to abandon that rickety restaurant, I get him a job here. They sure would love his cooking around this joint.
I don't think he'll ever give up that restaurant.
No, he probably won't. He'll probably die in that restaurant.
Well, that just got really morbid really fast.
Yeah, I don't think she'd be saying someone's father's gonna die.
It's just a fact of life around these parts.
Not if I could help it.
And then he huffs more ether, and then there's like a quick close up of his heart decaying over and
No, it's just
dying.
lungs that would be dying.
Oh, his lungs. Yeah, one of his lungs is all like shriveled and like cracks and falls
The other
off.
one's all popcorn.
That's actually what I was gonna say. I was gonna say he pulls out his ether rack as he says that.
All right. So then the three of them set off for the east face, looking for the bandit camp around the tunnels on Baker's Hill.
Canyon Arrow smells like a steak and seats 35.
Yeah, so now that I think about it, I'm fairly good in a scrap. Are either of you capable of holding your own if things go sideways, or should we maybe think how we can do this without putting ourselves in harm's way?
Well, I've got one green and one yellow in ranged light, but
Okay, so that's not the best.
Sam ruffled through his bag and pulls out a couple bottles here, and it's like, no, not this, not this. Oh, here it is. And Sam pulled out a revolver.
Holy shit!
what about your doctor's dynamite?
I should be okay. I should be okay with this, and I also have some doctor's dynamite. So if we get into, anything that's too dangerous, I could pull that out and just be like, back up off me, son. You don't know me.
Doc's gonna give it to you.
I'll give it to you.
He gonna deliver it to you.
Okay, well,
Seeing that three were well equipped, apparently, to take on bandits, they headed towards the tunnels in the east face
Sam followed
to
hell.
face their destiny.
wait, they have a horse named Destiny?
And hell followed with it.
And Sam was on hell.
They would find this woman's son.
No, we were riding hell.
And hell led the way.
And hell, not followed, and hell went with them.
Follow your nose.
Follow your nose.
And they followed hell's nose.
I'm stopping it whenever I feel like it. You don't run me.
All right.
You don't know me.
And I'm stopping the
You don't
recording
know my life.
now.
All right, guys, that's the second episode in the bag. From here on out, we're going to be posting every other week is the idea. We are on iTunes now. Goofs and Goblins on iTunes. Nothing, no fancy, no fancy sand, no fancy ampersand. Spell it out, Goofs and Goblins. We are on Twitter. We're on Facebook. All of these things are just Goofs and Goblins. And if you could now go to iTunes and give us that 5-star rating and write a review, apparently other podcasts say that that's helpful. And I don't know if that's true or not, but wouldn't it be weird to listen to a podcast at the end where they don't say, hey, will you go write me a review? So I'm going to do that as well. And now I have. So yeah, guys, thanks for listening. We're thinking maybe 4 or 5 more episodes in this arc. And hope you're enjoying it. Drop us a tweet at the very least. All right. Take care, cowpokes.